thank you for joining the Dreamr Podcast. Today we have a very special guest, John Assaraf. John is one of the leading mindset and behavioral experts in the world who has appeared numerous times on Larry King Live, Anderson Cooper, and the Ellen DeGeneres Show. He has built five multi-billion dollar companies, including taking one public on NASDAQ and growing Remax of Indiana to 1,200 sales associates and 4.5 billion a year in sales. He has written a new best-selling book called Inner Size, in addition to two New York Times best-selling books that have been translated into 35 languages. And John has been featured in 10 movies, including the blockbuster hit The Secret and Quest for Success with Richard Branson and Dalai Lama. Today, John is the founder and CEO of MyNeuroGym.com, a company dedicated to using the most advanced technologies and evidence-based brain training methods to help individuals strengthen their mindset so they unleash their inner power and maximize their results. So thank you, John, for joining us.
My pleasure.
I had to do this intro because it is filled with so many amazing achievements and everything you're doing. I mean, you are one of the biggest dreamers and achievers we have in the podcast now. So thank you for joining us.
It's my pleasure. And I love the idea of, being a dreamer. I started when I was 19 years old with a really wonderful teacher, a mentor, a man who was achieving big goals. And I was wondering, how did he do it? Like, how was he achieving so many wonderful things? And so he taught me the art of dreaming big. And then I discovered there's also a science to it.
Right, right. Tell us, what was your very first dream you had in your life? Like, what's the very first dream you had?
When I was 19, I was getting into a lot of trouble. I didn't do well in school. I left school at grade 11. And at the time, I was getting in trouble with the law, doing things that were not legal.
Right.
And my first dream was just to stop doing that and there was something inside me that knew that I could achieve more and have more and be more. I just didn't know how to get there. And so my first dream was to move out of my parents' house when I was 19, to get a job that would pay me enough to take care of myself, to get a car so I can get around from one place to another without having to always rely on, my friends who had cars at the time. So that was like the first dream, was to get out of that situation. And it's interesting because I had my brother, who was 9 years older than I am. He knew that I was getting in trouble, and he invited me to come and have lunch with him. He lived about 350 miles away, 500 kilometers away. And so I took the train one Friday morning. I took off work. I was working in a shipping department, making $1.65 an hour, and didn't have enough money every week to do anything other than basic fundamentals. But anyway, I took the train 350 miles to meet for lunch with this one man. And at lunch, this man asked me, what are your dreams? And I told him what I just told you. And he says, great, that's all great, but what are your bigger dreams? And I said, I don't have any bigger dreams. I just have, I just want to just survive better than I am. And he said, well, let me give you a document. I want you to go sit at the table next to us and start dreaming. Use your imagination. And so I opened up this document and it said, at what age do you want to retire? And I'm 19. And the first question is, what age do you want to retire? I'm like, retire? I want a full-time job. Second question, how much net worth do you want to have when you retire? And so I looked at him and I said, what is net worth? Third question, what kind of car do you want? What kind of home do you want? What kind of charitable contributions do you want? What kind of lifestyle do you want? What kind of clothes do you want to wear? Where do you want to travel? And I asked all these questions and I was like, I don't know. So I told him, I don't know what to put in there. He says, just dream. So I said, fine. I wrote down, I want to retire at age 45, which was 26 years later. I had no idea what even 26 years later meant because I was 19. I want to have $3 million net worth, and $3 million might as well have been $3 billion. It didn't have we didn't know any millionaires in my family, Nobody. My father was a taxi driver. My mother worked sewing, in a department store. I want to travel the world. I want to have a Mercedes Benz. I want to have a beautiful home. I want. And he looked at it and he said, these are some pretty good, goals and dreams. And he said, I'm going to ask you one question. And the answer to this question will determine whether you achieve every single one of these. And as you can imagine, Ash, in the back of my head, I'm going, yeah, sure. One question is going to answer if I achieve all of this stuff that I have no idea how to achieve. And he looks at me and he said, are you interested in achieving these, or are you committed?
Wow.
So I said, wow, interested, committed, interested. And I looked at him, I said, what's the difference? And he said, if you're interested, you'll come up with stories and excuses and reasons why you can't do it. If you're interested, you'll keep believing that because you left high school, you're not smart enough or good enough. If you're interested, you won't develop the habits and the skills required to achieve that. If you're interested, you will do what is convenient. But if you are committed, you will upgrade your knowledge, you will upgrade your skills, you'll change your habits, and you will become the man that can achieve every one of those goals, because every one of those is achievable. So are you interested or are you committed?
Wow.
And I was like, wow, that makes sense. I said, I'm committed. And he reached out his hand. He said, in that case, I will be your mentor. I'm like, wow, that's great. What's a mentor? Right? I was so young and naive.
Wow.
And he said, a mentor is somebody who will guide you. He said, but I won't invest my time if you're interested in you. I will invest my time to share with you what I already know that can achieve that and way more than that. Now that you've said you're committed, I will be your mentor. And that was the beginning of opening up my mind, of asking better questions, of making commitments to achieving goals, of leveling up my knowledge, my skills, my beliefs, my habits, my awareness of what's possible to achieve. And in the first year of working with him, I was 19 years old. I was in sales on commission only, working for his real estate company without any salary. But he taught me the skills of being on the phone and saying the right things to people that I didn't even know. 100 calls a day with a script. I made $62,000, and he took 50% of it because he was my mentor.
Right.
Great. That was $5,000 more than my father made as a taxi driver in that year. Then he said, great, now you're ready for the next level of skill. And he taught me some new things. And that second year, I made $150,000. That was my end, which means he made $150,000 also.
Oh my
And
God,
then
that's the age of 21.
21 years young. Then I took some of the money, I traveled around the world, and I went all over the world, 14 months of travel. And then when I came back, I got back into real estate, selling real estate. And then at 26 years old, I started my own real estate company. I moved from Toronto, I moved to Indiana, and I started Remax. And I built that company over 10 years from a startup to 1,200 sales associates, 85 offices who were doing $4.5 billion a year in sales.
My God. I mean,
So
that
one
is,
question, one answer, one, person to help guide me. And me being committed meant I was able to become the young man and then the older man that can achieve goals.
wow. I think that there are so many learnings in your entire story. I mean, at Dreamer, what we are trying to do is we ask people to declare their dream first. When they open the app, we ask them, tell us about your dream. Just whatever it is, put it out into the existence, put it out to the universe, manifest it, and then build connections, build a network around that, people who would help you achieve that dream. That's the entire thing we're trying to do with Dreamer. My question to you is, you are very fortunate to find a mentor, or if someone today in 2021 wants to have a mentor, someone like you had, what are the qualities he should look into the mentor, and how he should, convince someone to be his mentor?
Sure. So there's a lot of different ways to get mentorship, right? You can get mentorship from somebody's books. You can get mentorship from somebody's videos. You can get mentorship, from somebody's programs that you buy. You could get membership from participating in this person's environment of what they do. And then you can also reach out to certain people who have time who do this. And there are lots and lots and lots of people that love to mentor. I mentor thousands of people in one of my programs called the Exceptional Life Coaching Program for a very, very nominal amount of money for every year. When I work with an individual one-on-one, my fee is $5,000 an hour. But in
Wow.
groups, I can help people for like $30 a month to
Right.
teach them the stuff that I'm learning. So there's a variety of different ways to get mentorships. Some is one-on-one, some is one-to-many, some is paid, some is not paid. And there's lots of people that know exactly how to achieve goals,
Right.
right?
Right.
And so the first thing you've got to determine is who is the best teacher that you resonate with, that you like how he or she speaks, you
Right.
like their methodology, you like their process. And so, I've got a YouTube channel, I've got a Facebook channel, I've got an Instagram channel, I've got a Clubhouse. I'm on every social media giving away stuff for free. So does almost every other mentor. And then if there's a specific industry that you want to be in, there's always people who need help. So if you're going to approach a mentor, a lot of times you can say, hey, I'm willing to come and work for you for free, to do things that you need for free, just so I can be in your environment. And so you just start with what you can do. And again, mentorship doesn't mean you're going to get on a Zoom call with somebody or get on a phone call with them or text them every day. Mentorship means that you can learn from all the stuff that they're doing just by being in their environment, online or offline.
Right. 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 Wow. So you had this dream, to achieve so much. You wrote it down and you manifested it. You were into real estate, and then you built Remax, and but then you also went on to become, New York Times bestselling author. You went on to be featured into movies, and sharing your experiences. So it it becomes sort of sometimes very uh, overwhelming for a dreamer to have so many different dreams, and then try to achieve so many different things. How does someone, you know having different passions, try to achieve them? Like, what is your learning? Like, you have achieved so many dreams, what is your
Sure.
learning?
So whenever we're setting goals, like I have on my desk, I have my exceptional life blueprint that all my clients go through. So I
Right.
start off, I have my pictures and the stuff that I want to have, or the stuff that I already have achieved. But then I break it down and I ask myself, what do I want to achieve in 10 years, if you can think that far, or 5 years, 3 years, 1 year? These are the things out there that I want to achieve. Then I say, okay, what are the things that I want to achieve this month? Just
Right.
this month. Let's
Right.
reduce it to making some progress each day, each week, each month. And I
Mm.
like to divide everything into health goals,
Okay.
wealth goals,
Okay.
relationship goals, career or business, spiritual, fun and experiences, and charity.
Wow.
Okay, so I have goals for each area of my life, and there may be big goals down the road, but I say, what's my goal for those things this week? So,
Okay.
for example, I want to stay healthy. So, what can I do today to be healthy? Right. So, well, I can eat well, I can sleep well, I can exercise, I can get some fresh air. So, let's do that today. That's 1 hour. I want to have a great relationship with my friends and my family, right? So today I'll invest some time with my wife and my children. Tomorrow it might be some other people. I want to build my companies. Great. What is my plan today to build my companies? I want to contribute to the world. Well, what can I do to contribute? Well, I can hop on the Dreamr, podcast to help people through your reach as well. And I can give to people and I can make their life a little bit better and I give them some guidance, right? So if we reduce the big goals into the smaller goals, and then we create a plan for today, just today. What can I do today for the things that are important? Forget about the big goals now. I already know where that is. But if you think about this, and I'll give you a great visual for everybody to consider. And I'm going to ask you a question first. Can you run a marathon right now?
No, I don't think.
Nonstop. Can you jog a marathon right now?
No, I can't.
Okay. Let's assume that you and I agree that 1 year from now, we're going to jog a marathon together in Mumbai. I'm going to come over there. All right. And imagine that today we started to walk just a little bit. And tomorrow we walked a little bit further, and then we start to eat better. Then we start to sleep better. Then we knew how much rest we needed. Then we found out how much we need to stretch. Then we knew what kind of different exercise we need to do. Let's run slow, run fast, run long, run short. Could you and I, if we started today with the vision of a marathon a year from now, if we committed to running a marathon slowly a year from now, could we do a little bit each day that 1 year from now, we could run a marathon together?
We could, 100%. Sure.
Right. So that means that I don't need to know how to run a marathon right now. And I don't even need the tools or the skills right now. I need to make the commitment first. Then I come up with, what do I need to do this week to learn more about it? What do I need to do this week to move a little bit forward?
Right, right. Staying committed is the key. And then
But that's,
shortening, yeah, yeah,
yeah,
cutting
but
those
that's
goals.
why we don't achieve goals that we want to achieve. We achieve
Okay.
goals we're committed to achieving.
Wow. That's true. Very true.
Right there
And
is the profound, if there's
yeah.
nothing else that you learn
Mm.
and you discover is every one of my clients, before I agree to work with them, I ask them a question. Are you committed to achieving the goals that you have? Because if you're not, I'm not your person.
Wow. Wow. Commitment. Wow. I am very much interested to know about your new book, Inner Size. I mean, what is it about? I really love the title, Inner Size. And tell us more about that.
Sure. So, if somebody asked you, do you want to get into better physical shape? And you said, yes, I do. You could say, okay, well, what are you going to do to get in better physical shape? You said, well, I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to do some weights. I'm going to do push-ups. I'm going to do jumping jacks. I'm going to exercise.
Right.
I say, okay. If somebody said to you, do you want to strengthen your mind? And you said, yeah, of course. Mindset is what separates the best from the rest. I want a strong mindset. Great. What do you do every day to strengthen your mind? And the answer for most people is nothing.
Nothing. Yeah.
Some people, maybe meditate. Some people practice mindfulness, but we can use mental contrasting, visualization, subliminal programming. We can use promises, prayers, declarations. We could do visualization. There's a variety of different evidence-based, proven by science, to work to strengthen your neuromuscles.
Wow.
So your self-image is basically a neuromuscle that's been created, then reinforced. Your beliefs, what you believe that is positive, is like a neuromuscle. What you believe that's negative is like a neuromuscle, right? And so the entire book, Inner Size, and I give also people 9 audios to go with the book to help strengthen their mind. The entire book is based on the science of goal achievement, the science of becoming mentally and emotionally strong, so that you can overcome any challenge, you can focus better, you can have more awareness, you can let go of failures faster. That's by strengthening your mind and your capabilities and upgrading your skills of how the most powerful biocomputer in the world works, which is your brain, in simple terms to understand, like I'm explaining it right now.
Well, I mean, that is really, really interesting. I mean,
Yeah,
the book is available on Amazon and at the bookstores, right?
you got it,
And
all over the
we'd
world.
link it in the description. But Very interesting book. I'm definitely gonna go and check it out.
Awesome.
Exercising your mind, and understanding that all of your emotions and all of that are muscles, and you can actually train them to do better and achieve its complete potential.
Yeah,
I mean,
we have a lot of mental faculties, right? Focus. Can you focus long enough to achieve your goals? Yes
right,
or no? Why
right,
some goals? Why not others? You know,
right,
do you ever fear failure or being embarrassed or ashamed or ridiculed? Well, those are emotions that you can learn to manage,
right,
right? Do you have a narrow perspective or a wider perspective? Do you have the ability to let go of habits that are not good habits and create new habits that are positive and constructive? Well, you have the ability, but if you don't know how, then you don't have the ability. So
right.
these are all things that I teach in the book based on 20 years of neuroscience research on
Wow.
how I've been able to develop the willpower, the persistence, the awareness, the skills to achieve almost every goal that I set now.
Wow. Along with the book, you are also, the founder of MyNeuroGym.com.
Yeah.
And, tell us more about that. It was very fascinating to know, about this brain training methods and everything you're doing with MyNeuroGym.com. Please tell us more about that.
Sure. So ever since I had my first mentor that I shared with you earlier, he used to have me ask myself questions. For example, let's say I had a goal to make $100,000. He said, great, the goal is good. The plan to get there is good. Here's how many calls I'm going to make. Here's what I need to say. Here's what I say. If they say this, I say that. So the skills of that. He says, now, what do you need to believe in order to achieve that? Well, I need to believe that I'm capable.
Right,
I need to believe that it's possible. I need to believe that I can do it. I need to believe that I can upgrade my skills to do it. I need to believe that I could develop the habits. I need to believe. I used to write all these things down.
right.
And then the question is, what is a belief?
What
I
is a
need to
belief?
believe this, but what is it? And so I want to ask you a question. When you were born, and this is for everybody who's watching or listening, when you were you born with any beliefs?
I don't think so.
You're not. So,
No.
what is a belief in the brain?
I think our perceived experiences, everything we see around us.
Yeah, something we have evidence that it's true,
Right,
whether
right,
it's a negative belief or a positive. So, evidence
right,
that it's true. So, but from a neuroscience perspective, a belief, if we didn't have any, then our brain formulated beliefs by creating neural connections, brain cells connecting to other brain cells. And the brain cells that connected to other brain cells became soft wired in the brain because the pattern was repeated. Then it became an evidence that we have for reference. Well, do we have some beliefs that are true and some beliefs that are not? Some beliefs that empower us, some that disempower us, some beliefs that are negative, some that are positive. And in most cases, the beliefs that we got were from our parents, our
right,
teachers, our school. So if our parents had a hard time, for example, making money or not living the life of their dreams, they go, oh, living the life of your dreams is very hard. Making a lot of money is very, very tough. Don't you know we live in blank and the minimum wage is this and there's not a lot of people become rich and blah, 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 blah. So we believe that because in the early years when we're developing, we don't know how to ask questions of our parents when we're 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years old in the imprinting years where they're imprinting their beliefs on us, their behaviors on us, their habits on us. And then
right.
we model them after that. And then we experience what we've been imprinted and modeled. So what we do at NeuroGym is help people understand, first and foremost, you have the most powerful brain that is always creating or reinforcing patterns. So we now know through neuroscience that we can let go of patterns that don't work for us and are disempowering us, and we can deliberately create more empowering patterns that then cause our perspective, our behaviors, and our results to change. So what we do at NeuroGym is we do the research and then we create the programs for people to develop the beliefs, the habits, perspectives that they need in order to match the goals that they want. And so we create some, our software audio programs, our program people can listen to in using our technologies and methods to activate certain parts of somebody's neuroplasticity switch, it's called, to turn on the brain's ability to create a new connection. So we use some what we call brain activation technology and evidence-based methods to take the empowering beliefs, habits, perspectives, and create new patterns in somebody's brain.
Wow, sounds something like Inception. You're incepting, you know, ideas in
Yeah.
positive, mindsets and beliefs in that. That is so amazing because a lot of times, entrepreneurs and dreamers, they are so focused on, doing things the way they are taught to. So they have believed that this is how I'm going to be successful. A lot of times, our beliefs, disempower us, as you said. And I think training your mind and reprogramming, rewiring your mind to
Got it.
achieve optimum results for your achieving your dream. I think that is super important. I would definitely recommend all our listeners and viewers to check out myneurogym.com as well. I mean, such an amazing story. Someone who started like from a real estate thing. Someone like basically didn't uh, have anything. I mean, from rags to riches, and then into real estate, and now working on brain techniques and on all these amazing things you said. I mean, thank you so much for joining us
Thank you
on this
so much.
Dreamer podcast. Really, really appreciate, guys. I appreciate you. Uh, the departing question which we asked to all of our guests is, what is your next dream?
My the big dream that I'm working on for business and my contribution is to take all the research that I'm doing, to take the connections that I have around the world with leading scientists and researchers, and to make what we do available to 1 billion people or more.
Wow, wow, that is a huge and beautiful dream. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank
Bye.
you, my friend. Have a great, I guess, night where you are, right?
Thank you. Thank you,
All right.
John.
Bye now. Thank you.